Hello everyone, I just wanted to take a few minutes out this morning to talk to y'all about something that I feel is super important but is very hush-hush and not very talked about often. I feel like a lot of moms feel like they'll be instantly judged or shamed because they bring it up or say that they deal with this, and that would be postpartum depression. Now, when I first heard of postpartum depression before I got pregnant and forever ago, I thought it was just moms not loving their babies or wanting to have their babies, and I heard it more with celebrities. Now, that's not always the case whatsoever. There's different levels to it, and it goes a lot deeper than just that. And then there's also baby blues. Now, this is just all my personal experience and opinions. Like I'm not a doctor or anything like that. I'm just a mom sharing mom things. So for me, when I talked to my doctors about it, because I felt like, something's not right. I'm super sad all the time. I cry at everything. And it's not in a bad way, but just I know something's not right, and I know I'm going through a lot of hormone changes. Like my body just went through this crazy event of having a baby, so I know it's all in the air, but come my 6-week checkup, I'm still feeling kind of So I talked to them, I explained what's going on, and they were saying they felt I was more baby blues than postpartum. And to me, what they said baby blues was just more of being upset about a lifestyle change, or being just the lower, I guess, end of the scale, just you're more upset about something that happened than actually being depressed or needing medicine or therapy or something. And so what happened for me, or why I say I felt that way, is we delivered Sawyer being induced via C-section. My birth story is on here if you want to see all the details of that. Go ahead. I can link it down below if you're interested. But having to deliver via C-section really got to me. I always said, however he needs to get here, I'm fine with. I just need him to be healthy and happy. And don't get me wrong, I am super happy and healthy that he's here, and I couldn't be happier about it. But not being able to push my own child out really affected me, and I was really surprised that it did so much. I had a moment when I was breaking down to Matt, and I was just I feel like I'm a bad mom because I couldn't even have my own kid. And he's just whoa. That's not the case at all. He's here, he's healthy, you're doing a great job. Don't think that. And then now looking back at it, I'm just why was I being so hard on myself? It happens. Not everyone can have a vaginal birth. It is what it is. When my doctor was pulling him out and looking around, he said, your pelvic bone should be like this, open, and yours is like this. It's a really narrow, it's not rounded, it's more flattened. So he's even if Sawyer was not as huge as he was, the chances of you having a natural birth anyways was really slim. Just they could not fit. So my body naturally could not have him. So I just the more I talked about that, the more it's gotten easier. I mean, still to this day, like when I hear all my friends like great birth stories and like how amazing their labor and delivery was, and I'm like, oh, I was in labor for 39 hours and mine was cut out. Like, that's how I feel sometimes. But it's gotten better. I mean, for me, just talking about it has helped me get over it. And I think that's the biggest thing, is a lot of moms need to talk about it more. I feel like for me, it was like, if I say that, I'm gonna be shamed or judged or looked at differently, and it's not the case at all. I mean, everyone around you is your support system, so they're all there for you. I mean, you just had a baby, for crying out loud. Things are gonna be crazy. So that was part of it. The second part was breastfeeding. I tried and tried so hard to breastfeed Sawyer. I feel it was kind of doomed from the beginning, looking back at what I know now. When we were in the hospital, the lactation consultant that went with us instantly, like, didn't even bat an eye, was just like, oh, you need a nipple shield, let me go get one. And I had, took some classes here and there on breastfeeding and like what you should do, and it was so new to me, and I had never been around anyone that actually breastfed, so I couldn't see what needed to happen. I'm a very like visual learner. Like, I can't just read a paragraph and then do it. Like, I need to see it. I'm hands-on. So I trusted her, and I was like, this is her job, she knows what's best. So I did, everything she said. Now, this might not be the case for everyone. Like, I'm not a doctor. These are just my personal experiences and opinions on everything. But from all the research I've done, is you want to avoid a nipple shield at all costs. Something with the saliva from them on you helps you produce more, and just is like, hey, feed the baby, make milk. And with that barrier there, it's not getting on to you. So I think that played a huge part into why we couldn't breastfeed. And then the other part would be my child is a beast, and he will eat and eat and eat and eat. Even still to this day, I mean, he is eating so much food. I could not keep up, like, at all with the life of me. He would nurse on me, I mean, each side, and then 30 minutes later be hungry again, and like, I'm drained out. So we had to start supplementing with formula. Well, once he got that bottle, he was done with me. He's like, bye, Mom, like, I only want a bottle. So he would not latch onto me after that. I don't know if it was nipple confusion or what it was, but I would try so hard for him to nurse, and he just wouldn't. So then I was like, okay, it's okay, maybe I'll just exclusively pump. Pumping is the devil. It is so much work, and don't get me wrong, I would do anything and everything for him, but I was pumping every 1.5 to 2 hours nonstop, trying to just get my body like, okay, the baby is super hungry, like, let's get it producing a lot. And it was only producing maybe like 1 to like maybe 2 ounces every time. And at this point, Sawyer was eating like 3 to 4 ounce bottles. He's always just been a big kid. So that was hard. I tried the milk, or not the milk, the mother's milk, the tea. I tried the cookies. I tried the supplements, I tried everything, and it just slowly dried up even more. So now he is just exclusively on formula. Well, not exclusively, he's trying solids now, but he is a formula baby through and through. He did get probably a good month's worth of breast milk, which some breast milk is better than none. So I can say, he got the most important part of the breast milk, the colostrum and all that, so I'm not super beat up about it. I feel like my next kid, I'm gonna know more what to do, what to expect. Like, I'm just gonna have more information on it and knowledge, basically, and I think I'll be a lot more successful. Now, with that whole spiel out of the way, that is another thing that played into me being so depressed. Is, like I said earlier, I had this whole meltdown on not being able to have him. Well, then my next meltdown was I can't even feed him, and like that's what I'm supposed to just naturally be able to do. So I couldn't have my baby, and then I can't feed my baby. It's just like what I thought about all the time, and it's so silly and it's sad because it's not the case. And for all you moms out there, don't think that you're doing the best you can. So just stay positive. The more you talk about it, talk to someone. You can't just keep it all kept inside or bundled up because you will go crazy. I just read a really sad article, and it was written by this mom's best friend, and she talked about how her friend was such a good mom and just so happy and go lucky, and she ended up committing suicide because she felt it was better for her daughter not to have her around because she was suffering with postpartum. And that is the saddest thing I have heard in a long time. And it's all because, she didn't even tell her best friend. Her best friend had no idea. And I feel like if maybe that mom would have opened up a little, she could have gotten help for it, or, maybe even just talking about it, like for me, help her get through it. So my advice out there with this whole long spiel out of the way is, if you feel down or depressed, just talk to someone. It'll help. Even if you don't want to talk to like your spouse or family, call your doctor. They're there for you. I'm sure there's like support groups around you. Just talking about it, getting it off your chest. You don't need to suffer in silence or alone. There's people there for you. So, moving on. Please subscribe to us. Our channel is still fairly new. We are in the process of uploading as many videos as we can. We've got a lot of ideas on what we want to do. If there's anything that you guys would like to see or want us to talk about or film about, please let us know. We would love to hear your input. We do have a Instagram that's just barely started, and we're starting a Facebook page. I can link both of those if you want to follow us. If you find these videos helpful, like share them to your mommy friends. I know that Jerry, Alex, and I are in a bunch of Facebook groups, and that's how we met, if you watched our meet and greet. So feel free to share us everywhere. Yeah, like I said, just if you have questions, ask away. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.